What is going on, everybody? JT Best Ball here. You know what time it is. It is time for the nightcap. We have a big show tonight. First, as long as he shows up, which I think he is, my man Dirty P. He is the viewer appreciation person for tonight. We're going to draft a BBM. Hopefully, we can do a little better than me and Green Bean did last week. The team didn't turn out that great. I was trying to jump back and forth between chat and keep up with the draft. We did it a little different this time. My man sent me some of his top exposures. I got them pulled up on the computer next to me here. So hopefully we can kind of, make a team in his liking, try to get some people he likes, make a team that can go chase the $2 million. It will be a BBM if anybody wants to hop in it with us. And then for the second draft, I have something fun for you guys. So I made this wheel. You've seen them before, the little wheel you spin or whatever. And it has a whole bunch of random stuff on it as far as different types of players and stuff like that. Let's get to the intro. We'll talk about it more.
I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day.
Okay, so I guess we're not watching the intro today. I did that one other time. I think if I hit my mouse just right, it pauses it and then stops. So, you know what? We'll rock without the intro tonight. Just wouldn't seem right if we started it back up. It kind of defeats the whole purpose, right? Dirty P is here. We're gonna draft a shipper tonight, Dirty P. But first let's look at my little wheel. Let me see if I can share this with you guys. So here is kind of what I got. And one thing I'm going to do too, just like I tell you guys to leave the player deep dives. If you have something that you think would make this more interesting, a particular, you know, thing we could add to the wheel, by all means, when the video is not live anymore, leave me a comment. We'll think about adding it to the wheel. It's not going to be a every night thing. I don't know when we'll do it. Maybe we'll bust it out with some guest on or something. But basically, the way it works is after we do the BBM, probably do it in a puppy because I don't know how it's going to go. I'm going to try my best to work it out, jump back and forth between this screen and the draft screen so you guys can see what's going on. Y'all can follow along in the fun. And we're going to spin the wheel every time, and I tried to make it interesting and challenging. But at the same time, I left a lot of spots like wide receiver and tight end, running back, wide receiver, just because, I still at the end of the day want to draft a team that at least has a chance, right? But I have to do one of whatever is on there. There are certain spots that's like just running back, just wide receiver. I left off quarterback and tight end as those spots because we obviously don't want to draft a tight end or a quarterback in the first round. That would just kind of be too bad, I think. And then I tried to throw in just a couple random ones. Like if we hit this one here, we have to pick a player that is at least 10 picks or more past ADP. There's another one, top of the list. So whatever the top guy is on the board, no matter position or what, we have to take them. But I thought it'd be a little fun idea. So we're going to try that out next. Appreciate it, Mark. What's up, Steve? First, though, if anybody wants to draft a BBM, what's up, David? Good to see you in here. We are going to enter a BBM for my man, Dirty P. We will do it right at 10:06 on the dot. Hopefully it can work out a little smoother than last week. I didn't like the team I drafted for Green Bean, to be honest with you. It was the first one though. It was a little tricky. It's different when we have a guest, actually on the stream. We're kind of talking with each other. Whereas I was trying to, I think, go back to chat and read what he was typing during the draft. 20-second clocks. They do come kind of fast sometimes. But so we're trying it a little different. Dirty P was nice enough to send me some of his exposures over on Discord. And so I got him pulled up here and we'll try to get some of his guys. And he already told me, kind of how he looks to build teams. So we'll try to get some of his guys. And he already told me, kind of how he looks to build teams. So we'll try to get some of his guys. And he already told me, kind of how he looks to build teams. So we're going to do our best. We'll see if we can't do one he likes. We're entering in it right now. There's 2 spots left. If anybody would like to hop in it with us, jump on in. What's up, Who Hames? Speaking of Who Hames, he will be on the nightcap tomorrow night talking ball. Always a fun time talking to him. We'll draft some teams too, of course. Not sure what we'll get into. I'm kind of open for whatever, I guess. Let's see. Did any of you guys hop in here with us? David hopped in here with us. He is at the 101. Who you like at 102, Dirty P? We got some time with the minute timer till the draft starts or whatever. Tell me in the chat who you want at 102. Are you more JJ? Are you more Bijan? I could probably look at your exposures and figure it out a little bit. Uh, I don't know. Throw it in the chat. I see you have a decent amount of JJ. FK Coolers is in at the 111 spot. Welcome, welcome. We have Coolers in here. We have David in the 1 spot. We are drafting the team for Dirty P. GM, we just took get-ins on Candyman stream. I knew I liked you guys. You know a stud late round running back when you see him. I see my man has a decent amount of Justin Jefferson. So if my mouse would work right, we're going to take Justin Jefferson. Nothing wrong with starting off a BBM with JJ in the 2 spot. Load up on those receivers. Get you some late round running backs later. And we'll try to put it together for him. Hope everybody had a great, great weekend. Mine was pretty good overall. Don't worry, I do not draft Ayuk. You know, the only contest that I've actually drafted Ayuk in here lately is the little 6-man contest. You know, the few teams I've done over there, I've been building them a very specific way. And what I'm finding is that, like, you get down to that last round, and a lot of times Ayuk goes undrafted with just the 6 teams and everything. And so I've actually been throwing Ayuk on some of those 6-man teams because I'm like, normally it's my 7th or 8th receiver, just the way that I've been building my teams over there specifically. And I'm like, I don't even need him for most of the season, honestly, with this wide receiver room I have. So, just if we get into the playoffs, I think that he could be a good playoff play who's very low owned because he doesn't get drafted every draft in the little 6-man badge bro thing. It's all good, Dirty P. We took JJ. What's up, Fantasy Dog? Good to see you in here, my man. We are drafting a BBM for Dirty P. He is this week's viewer appreciation. And then after this, if anybody wants some good EV, feel free to hop in the puppy draft with me because we are breaking out the new wheel that I created. And you guys will see what spot it lands on. So if you're in the draft, you'll kind of know what position I have to take with each pick, or one of the positions I have to take with each pick. We'll see how it goes. It's going to be a lot of fun, I think. I'm interested to do it. Dirty P, you've seen my shows long enough to know that you don't need to tell me that. There will be no Bucky Irving and there will be no Sam Darnold getting drafted on this channel. If there is, somebody probably done hijacked my channel. It's weird. I don't know why my percentages messed up like that. They were working just a second ago. I had them loaded right before we started. There they go. Why does it have I was drafting some eliminators last night. I remember now, and I turned off the weeks because I didn't really need to see weeks 15, 16, and 17 for the eliminators. Let's see. Hmm. We're gonna go Tyreek Hill. Hopefully he likes some Tyreek Hill. I was trying to look through and see. Devontae Adams just went. You know what? I saw he has McBride at a decent amount. So we're gonna take McBride. I tried to do these. I think this is the way to go though. The people who win in the future, if they want to share their exposures with me, or at least some of the top, I think this is gonna make it a little bit easier to make sure we get some guys in there the first few rounds at least that he's high on. I thought I saw McBride on there. Yeah, there you go. 12% McBride. So we'll go with the stud tight end that you like. JJ, Tyreek. We got McBride. We'll start piecing it together after that. This is a BBM. This is I'm doing a thing now where once a week, normally on Sundays, somebody who showed up a lot that week in my streams, we draft either a sprint or a BBM, try to make it to their liking, and then just as if they were a guest live on the channel, when I'm done, I put their name on it. If we hit anything, we'll split it. Glad you liked the start. Sounded pretty good to me. Are y'all worried that Tyreek Hill does not watch film? I guess I saw someone sent me a clip the other day of him in a press conference. And our boy was like, I don't watch any film, bro. I just know ball. I'm not worried about it. I'm still drafting Tyreek. If he's never watched film, that means he's been really good at football without watching film. It's not like it's nothing new. FK Coolers is in the draft. He's over there in the 11th hole. We're going to do these, though, most weeks, with the exception of next weekend. And we'll talk about that later at some point. He just looks at matting ratings. We may need to double tap running back 4 or 5. You in on Mixon round 5 is stealing him, I think. I am definitely in on Mixon. I think the Texans, obviously, you guys can see the background. I am a Texan fan. That's my boys. Been with them since day one. Always been a Houston fan, even since the Oiler days. Yes, I'm that old. But yeah, I agree. We probably need to get running back soon. So I don't know, my man. If the board only wants to give us top wide receivers, maybe we take one more, but I'm also not loving them here. Let me look at something real quick. We could do the Devontae thing and put Hurts on there. You know what? I got a plan for running backs. We can still get some running backs, Pete. We're gonna take Devontae and see if David will be nice enough to let us get Hurts. If not, then we'll definitely grab a running back. He wanted Hurts, so that's fine. We'll move on to running back, and we still have a good receiver out of it. We'll go ahead and grab Mixon. You mentioned Mixon. You don't have to talk me into it. I think the Texans this year will definitely have a lot of games with that defense that they are going to have where they are just in control of the game. And I do think that they will early in the game and just in general this year, I think that they are going to pass a lot more than what they have the last couple years. I've been talking about that as somebody who follows the team super, super close. Everything that I'm hearing from the couple people that one person in particular, Seth Payne, he used to actually play defensive tackle from them. He has a lot of connections still inside the building and stuff, and he does a little YouTube channel. He works for the local radio station there too, and I try to listen to some of his YouTube stuff that he does because you can pick up some little nuggets, when he's just talking about his thoughts or what he heard, and a lot of people who seem to know a little bit about him think that they're going to be a lot more pass heavy this year. But that said, with the defense that they have, I do see them being up in a lot of games where they're just kind of content, to run the clock out, so to speak. Mixon's always been that type of back that as the game goes on, he tends to improve. And then on top of that, I mean, Chubb isn't taking any of the major work from him. Chubb is there simply because they don't like Pierce and they kind of needed another backup. If Mixon was to go down, I think it'll kind of be a combination myself between Chubb and the rookie Woody Marks. But as long as Mixon's healthy, I mean it's his job. He's probably going to be about as close to a workhorse as you can get. He does tend to come out on third in like really long situations, stuff like that. So I would guess we can't call him a true workhorse. But he will definitely be in there for goal line. He'll definitely be in there the majority of the snaps and stuff. So pretty solid first running back considering we got three elite receivers or three really good receivers. Kind of like two. We missed out on Ertz, of course, but we could do the McCarthy thing with JJ as one of our quarterbacks. How are you on? We're going to reach down and grab Pacheco here. I don't know how you are on Pacheco, but he's a good little RB2. I talked about it the other day. I think, and we'll talk more in a minute, I think he's kind of the hidden winner in the whole Rice suspension in a weird way. Not that I necessarily think they are going to throw the ball to him. Let's see who David takes. We're going to go down and grab Diggs. I know you're kind of in on our boy Diggs. Kind of sets up a quarterback that we're both in on as well here in a little bit. Team so far, Mixon and Pacheco, J.J. Hill, Smith, and Diggs. We have McBride holding down the tight end room. When I have I don't take McBride that often, but the times that I do, with him or Bowers, I tend to only go with two tight ends. So we can really push that second tight end a little later. We drafted him in the third round. We need him killing it and hitting it this year to have a chance. So we don't need to really spend a lot more capital at the tight end spot. But Pacheco, the one thing I had been kind of worried about was okay, like if he starts off the year slow or if he's just not quite, 100% still from that leg injury that notoriously guys tend to take a little while to get back to top form from. Guess I could have put it on the board for you guys. Sorry about that. Um, could KC move on to somebody else? Could they like just lean even more into the past? But with the Rice suspension, I, I think in a weird way, that keeps them just at least until Rice gets back playing their same little, dink and dunk, take some shots to Worthy, but they really focus on just trying to play defense and making sure they get Pacheco off and running this year, which who knows, maybe they would have done that anyways. Maybe I should have been more in on him than I was earlier, but I'm warming up to him now. I guess part of it too is a little bit after that was the old Judkins range, and I really liked Judkins on the left side of the board too. Clearly, we're not drafting any of that right this second. Let's see. What do we want to do? If I remember right, we did my man right. Stephon Diggs is pretty high on his list. That's what I thought I had remembered seeing. I don't think we're really in quarterback range yet. Don't want Baker. I kind of think I'm scared to draft Baker this year. I feel like we're drafting him for his absolute best performance last year. I'm not saying I don't think their offense will be good. I find it hard for Baker to outperform his ADP, which is generally what we want to try to do as much as we can. Draft guys that we think can outperform their ADP. Last year he had like 400 rushing yards, which is quite a bit more than any amount of rushing yards he had in his career before that. We're going to kind of keep with our Minnesota theme here. I think we are going to take Jordan Mason, which I know my man likes because along with Diggs was one of his higher drafted guys. We're trying to put this team together in a way that would make our boy Dirty P happy. I'm not sure if you're in on him or not. David said he'll buy the Judkins dip. I'm going to put my boy Higgins on here because I heard really good things about him during OTAs. He's going to be their main number two. I think he could use his size and speed and the fact that Nico's there. Defense aren't going to be able to, concentrate on him at all. My Texans have a really nice playoff schedule as our fifth wide receiver. Let's take some rookie upside there. We had 3 running backs. Sticks with the Houston theme. We have Mixon. Now we added another Texan. Always nice when you can kind of correlate with teams like that. Same thing we did with JJ and Mason. Gives us another out for a quarterback late that we can stack. I'm glad you approve, my man. We're trying to do what we can here. Steph Diggs is my biggest stand. Diggs and Mason and May and Cam Scatterboo are all over 30% for me right now. We took notes. We took notes, Dirty P. Well, actually, we didn't, but I have your notes that you sent me pulled up on the screen next to me so that we can try to do what we can do for you. It definitely is working out way better than last week. I think that is going to be the way to go in the future. I touched on it earlier and we can talk more, But next weekend, we're going to take a little pause on the viewer appreciation because they got something else going on. That'll be some fun streams. But then the following weekend and the rest of the Sundays until football start, we'll be right back to it. So, what, maybe 3, 4 more viewer appreciation nights? So, show up to the stream, chat in the comments, let me know you're here, hang out with us, and one of them could be you. Not really, because it's no different than me drafting the team. Just getting players that somebody else likes. I guess you could possibly call it a little bit of collusion if he was in the same draft with me and knew some of the players I might be going after. We are just trying to give love back to the people who show me love. Because we have enjoyed this journey. We're going to have a real tough decision here coming up because there are a couple of people, two players in particular, that I really would like here if both of them stay. All right, Dirty P. I hope it works out. We're actually going to take J.K. Dobbins first. My man Dirty P, I mean, my man David would not snipe us twice, would he? Not twice. And if he does, then we have a backup plan. And he sniped us on Drake May. Of course he did. That's all right, because we knew that we had McCarthy there. And one reason I did that is because I knew we could get at least one of the two quarterbacks. I probably honestly should have went ahead and double tapped quarterback there, but I wanted to make sure that we built out a really strong running back room here because I also know that you said you like to count on running backs hitting your flex. And J.K. Dobbins, y'all, like the more that I think about Denver, the more J.K. Dobbins that I want. And the reason being is Sean Payton at heart, he wants to run the football. He wants to run the rock. Okay. And I don't know, like I could definitely see the team being a lot like they have a super good defense, right? They have a really awesome offensive line by a lot of, lists that I've looked over and stuff. Most people have them top 3 or 4 offensive lines. And what I think they're going to want to do is at heart run the football. Harvey's going to be in there. I'm not saying Dobbins is going to be the bell cow back, but Denver with that offensive line and that defense, I do see them scoring a lot of points this year. And I think that Dobbins is going to be their goal line back. I think that he is going to be one of their main running backs in there most of the time. And I want to say for me, I see Harvey more as like the change of pace guy, coming in here or there to spell Dobbins. Definitely more involved in the passing game for Harvey probably than Dobbins. But especially down on that goal line, I really see them just using him as their goal line back, and I see them scoring a lot of touchdowns. Last year, Bo Nix ran in a pretty decent amount of them, but also let's look at who they had there, right? Like they had a guy in Javante Williams, who wasn't good on any levels really, and they just let him walk. Like clearly they didn't really think that highly of Estime and McLaughlin, or I mean Jaleel McLaughlin. Um, they went out and signed Dobbins and drafted a rookie with pretty decent capital. So clearly they didn't love those two. I don't know. Just the more I think about the Broncos and how I think that Sean Payton really, really wants to play this year, the absolute more of Dobbins I want to get. So far, we have Drake May, we have Mixon, Pacheco, Mason, and Dobbins. That's why I really like that pick. Trying to make sure we had between Mason and Dobbins. I feel like one of the two most weeks should hopefully have a good enough game to be a strong flex option for us. We have JJ, Tyreek Hill, Devontae Smith, Steph Diggs, Jaden Higgins at receiver. We have Trey McBride as our tight end. We're going to grab Tua here. That's another reason I was willing to just get either McBride or Drake. I mean, McCarthy or Drake, so that we could get Dobbins. Last time I saw David only had, I think at the time, two running backs. So I don't know how any is on Dobbins, but I definitely could have seen him doing that. And then we're going to just go ahead and double tap quarterback. I didn't have time to look through. I don't know how you are on Bryce Young. I think the Panthers will be a little bit better this year. That gives us at least three quarterbacks. This was definitely a team. I didn't want to leave it with just McCarthy and Tua. And I just felt like if we tried to wait until we got back at 167, I mean, there's a chance Geno could have been there. We really don't want Rodgers unstacked, do we? Like, let's at least take Young. He might run around a little bit. Definitely running around more than Rodgers. Don't really want Sam Darnold. There's a couple later options that we can add on and still work a stack. Their tight end, Jatavian Sanders. He could be a nice little tight end too to McBride that we take late. Gives us a little upside since we'd have him stacked with Bryce. So I thought that was the way to go. We're good enough at receiver and running back for now that we could take that little detour. Thanks for stopping by, Candyman. We appreciate it. You guys know where to find him in the garage. Always good shows over there as well. Need to go back and watch the Ballsy episode from tonight. I don't get to watch many of the people that go live in the hour or so before me. Most of the time, that's me and my oldest daughter. We kind of have a thing this summer where I let her pick out a show, and we kind of have a show that we're watching most nights. I try to fit an hour in with her before we hop on. She did good. She picked a pretty interesting one that's pretty decent to watch. I like Dobbins. Where did we take him? I think he's going to get 200 carries. Pass pick 100 is a good deal. Yeah, we took him pretty much right at ADP. We didn't reach. It was 119. I actually got him past ADP. ADP's 111. We took him at 119. It was on that turn. Like Drake May and McCarthy was right there. And so I figured I knew D'Lo needed a running back, and I didn't figure there was any way he would bounce back because he was, in my opinion, the best running back choice on the board, past ADP. So we grabbed him. Even if David took a quarterback, he already had two, so I knew one of Drake May or McCarthy would still be there. I thought there was a decent chance we could get Tua and then just double tap it and take somebody like Young to make sure we still had three quarterbacks. I feel like it's working out for us, We may be able to throw Thielen on there in a minute. Thielen would be a really nice wide receiver 6 on a Bryce Young team. We could add Rico as a running back possibility. Let me see, who are some of the late round running backs that you're really into? Any that are still on the board? I think that's kind of the play here with 14 and 15. Probably go Thielen with this pick for wide receiver 6. With Tyreek, JJ, Devontae, Diggs, Higgins, Thielen, if we had to, we could leave it at 6, but we're gonna have that extra spot from tight end. So we could probably do like a 3-6-7-2, something like that, if need be. Let's go ahead and throw Rico on there. One thing with having Bryce Young too, I think Rico might have a nice little role outside of just, being the backup. I don't know if you guys listen to any of the like it's called Establish the Edge. It's the little spinoff of ETR that what's this spreadsheet guy? Two Hats, One Mike Leone and Ben Gretsch. They do it every year where normally it's about a 2 hour or so show, and each one of them is breaking down division by division, kind of like going over their rankings and stuff like that and their projections on players. And when they were talking about the Panthers, Ben Gretsch was diving into some stuff about, how actually Chuba was not that good in the passing game. Okay, cool, cool. I see all your other guys you just listed up there, Dirty P. All of the guys I draft on here on a nightly basis. Ollie Gordon, I've been taking a little bit of lately. I'm not really a Wright guy. I think Wright is a little too expensive myself, and it's like I was talking with Steve a few nights ago, and he's what really got me on Ollie Gordon. Not that he recommended him, but I was asking him because I know our man Steve follows college ball like super in depth, and I don't. I just cram as much rookies in as I can when the season ends and do work on them, watch tape. But I was asking Steve in particular, what was the difference in Ollie Gordon this year versus 2 years ago? Because if y'all remember, going into last football season, like Ollie Gordon was thought of as one of the top running backs, supposed to be a projected high NFL prospect. And then it all just kind of fell apart this year. And like, I don't remember word for word what Steve said, but my takeaway from that conversation was it was more of a team level type thing than just like Gordon all of a sudden wasn't good anymore. So like, could he just work himself into the Mostert role from a couple years ago? Like, he's not going to be their only goal line back because they've already showed that they're willing to give HN the ball on the goal line. But like, could he just work into a nice little role? It's possible, as a short down guy, come in and give Achan a break. Like, I know, Wright came into camp, best shape of his life, lost some weight, all that good stuff. But he wasn't good last year, and we don't know if Ollie Gordon's going to be good in the NFL. So in the 18th round, I've been taking him. let's flip over and see what we want to do here. I could probably do that one in the 17th. I mean, it just wouldn't be a JT draft if we didn't throw Giddens on there, right? I mean, you guys know you guys know how we feel about Giddens around here. Let's tack on Sanders since we're doing the whole Carolina thing. We'll grab one more wide receiver in the last round. The team is going to end up 3-6-7-2. I think we got a chance, Dirty P. I think we did all right. I mean, let's look at this. We'll have JJ McCarthy, Tua, and Young as the quarterbacks. More than serviceable running back room with Mixon, Pacheco, Jordan Mason, Dobbins, Rico Dowdle, and my boy Giddens on there at the end. Wide receiver room not too shabby either with JJ, Tyreek Hill, Devontae Diggs, Higgins, and Thielen. McBride is going to carry the tight end room with hopefully some useful weeks along the way. We have Bryce double stacked with pass catchers, but then we also got Rico going back into the stuff I was talking about with Ben Gretch. He was just pointing out how like Rico's, analytical pass catching numbers and stuff are way, way better than Chuba's. And so he kind of was basically hinting and saying that in his projections or whatever that he sees Rico as kind of earning the passing down role there. Chuba maybe being more of just the early down guy this year. We have Hill with Tua. That's kind of nice. And one reason I went with the Dobbins pick and waited on Tua, right? Because like we already took Hill, and like I don't mind taking Tua even with the risk factor of concussions on a Tyreek Hill team because like if in a world where Tua gets another concussion and he's out 6 weeks, I mean, what's that gonna do for Hill's value, playing with I think Zach Wilson is the backup quarterback right now. So it's like we kind of need Tua to be healthy on a Tyreek Hill team. So that's why I am okay sometimes, if need be, putting Tua on there. I don't make a point to do it, but in this particular draft, I just felt like the other option would have been, let's see, I'm looking for that spot it was at. We could have went Drake May here, and then David probably would have taken Dobbins, I'm assuming, and then we could have went McCarthy there, but then we would have been looking at maybe like a Ray Davis or an Eckler, two guys that to me are while they're usable, they are clear backups to the guy ahead of them. Whereas I kind of don't feel that is the case with Dobbins. I think like when it's all said and done, Dobbins assuming both were healthy all year, I think Dobbins would finish the year with more. Um, you know what? Let's add on to the Minnesota stuff, right? Might as well. Let's take Jalen Naylor. We have JJ. We have the other JJ and McCarthy. So just like with Tua, we need him hitting. We kind of need JJ really killing it. And JJ is a guy I've been wanting to draft more of because I like Hawkinson a lot. Y'all know that JJ is Justin Jefferson. JJ is JJ. I guess we'll call McCarthy McCarthy, and we'll call Justin JJ. That way, it's not confusing. But it's like what we've seen O'Connell do with a guy that I'm totally out on this year, Sam Darnold. And heck, even Dobbs there for a while. If like McCarthy is good, that passing offense could be insanely good this year between Addison and Hawkinson and JJ. If McCarthy is good, that will definitely be the case. We need, like I was just talking about, McCarthy to be really good and that offense just be killing it. That one I probably feel the best about. We need Bryce Young to play like he did at the end of last year, and we need Tua to stay healthy. I think we are pretty strong at the other positions. I would agree with that. Yeah, there's like 4 to 6 spots like this, and I'm going after them all. Ali is totally free and will be very low owned. Catch up on the chat a little bit. Are you wanting to hop like on stream, David? I'm cool with that if you want. Assuming that's what you were hinting at. I like adding Ollie Gordon or Sean Tucker to this team. Candyman's been around. I know he went on a few vacations a while back or whatever, and I know he just got back from one, but I think he's pretty much back now. My comment is regarding the RB2, where it seems the market is totally certain when they should not be. I'd agree with that, Coolers, and there's definitely some interesting ones. You know, like I don't know, I can't think of them off the top of my head right now, but the biggest one to me, I've actually just came to this conclusion over the last, and this isn't even the RB2 situation though. This is more of like the Dobbins. I think when it's all said and done, he scores more fantasy points than the rookie. That's my take. I really do think that, assuming health, right? There's always the risk factor of health with him. But for the most part, he was pretty healthy last year. And even if he doesn't blow him out the water, let's say it's even close, or let's say RJ Harvey even scores a little more than him. We're drafting RJ Harvey in the 6th round, whereas we can take Dobbins, in the 10th round. To me, that's wrong. I think that like Dobbins should be more of like maybe like a late 7th, early 8th pick, somewhere in there, like maybe after Pollard. But then again, Pollard, all the coaches keep saying is they want to get both of them more involved. They want to get both of them more involved. Let's let's move on though. Oh, we're here. Let's go look at Cooler's team real quick. I forgot he was in here too. David was in here also. What David do? He went with the 3-6-7-1. Hurts, Mayfield, Drake, Devontae Smith, Judkins, Najee Harris, Ray Davis, Austin Eckler, Taj Brooks. The Judkins pick could end up being sneaky good if he doesn't get suspended that long, or just if Najee and Davis and Eckler can help get him to the point that he's playing. Chase Adams, Garrett Wilson, Ridley Debo, Pat Bryant, Jalen Noel. Only one tight end. That's a very interesting one tight end, and it's only Hunter Henry paired with Drake. I haven't seen that one yet. I've done a couple one tight ends in puppy drafts back, or no, it wasn't the puppy. It was one of them. Whatever that $7 one was, I think. I don't know. Anyway, some tournament I was drafting on vacation. I drafted a few Bowers solo teams, but I don't think that like drafting a later tight end and just one. My buddy Mark was actually asking me what I thought about that strategy the other day, and I feel like there's no need. Like, who'd you take in your with that very last pick? Noel. Oh no, that's yeah, no, you took him in the 15th. Let's see, who was your last round pick? It would have had to have been Taj Brooks. I guess you did need the running back there. Or no, I'm assuming you actually probably took the numbers don't add up, right? 3672 is what that would have been. Yeah, okay, I see. It's just that weird underdog thing where it hasn't put your last player on there yet. That's my bad. Yeah, yeah, I realized it kind of as I was talking. I was like, oh yeah, wait, the numbers aren't quite adding up for the team. But anyways, though, it having a second tight end of any caliber on there is at least better than just a solo Henry. That kind of threw me off for a minute because I think of David as a pretty good drafter. I've seen him draft before, and wouldn't expect that. What did Coolers do over there? He was being quiet in the 11 spot with the 3-5-7-3. Stroud, Stafford, and Taylor Shook. Kyron Hampton, Travion Henderson, Hill, and Hunt. I like the three up top for sure. Well, if those two get in the mix, it could be nice. Collins, Brian Thomas Jr., Olave, Myers, Mooney, Bateman, and Dobbs. Pretty good receiver room overall, led by the two studs up top. CJ's, of course, stacked. Evan Ingram, Tucker Craft, and Elijah Arroyo. That's the news of today, right? The news of today is Elijah Arroyo could be live for a lot more action because Seattle let Noah Fant go. But let's move on, guys. We're going to hop into a puppy, and we are going to break out the wonderful, super fun, hopefully, we'll see, wheel. We'll do it in a puppy because I want to get some more puppies in, anyways, before it fills. At the rates we normally go, it'll be filled pretty soon. We'll hop in it at 10:54 on the dot. When my computer turns to 10:54, we will hop in it. It's going to be fun, though. It's going to be fun. Let's see what all do we have coming up. I don't know how many guests we'll have on this week during the week. Who Hames, the Who crew, will be on with us during the nightcap tomorrow. Tuesday night, I will be here. Me and Hartman and Chris, the Candyman. We normally do some stuff on Tuesday, but Chris has a special guest that he could only work in on a Tuesday. So we're working it out. I think we might get together still one day this week. Probably be on either Hartman's channel or Chris's channel, one of the two this week. But it's looking like that might be Wednesday or Thursday-ish. Mark hopped in here with us. Mark wants to steal some EV. So here's how we're going to do it. I might just keep it more on this page for this draft because I'm going to try my best to bounce back and forth between the wonderful, wonderful wheel that we have here. I don't know if I'm going to do a third draft after this. If you guys want to all hop in something, y'all could probably talk me into it. If not, we might call it a night. But it's going to be pretty fun, I think. Let's see. The draft just started, so we will go ahead and make our first pick. Hopefully, this thing isn't too loud. No, that should be fine. So, with the first pick, the running back. Oh no, removed quarterback. I guess that thing wasn't quite right. Quarterback, running back, or wide receiver is what it says. I thought it landed on running back, tight end. I'll have to pay more attention to that wheel. Guess maybe we should have played around with it more and tried it out. But at the bottom, it said that it was quarterback, wide receiver, or tight end. So I think we kind of got to take, or did I say running back? What did it remove? Let's see, did it tell me? Draft should be starting here in just a second. I don't think so. Did I accidentally hop in a slow draft, guys? Did we hop in a slow draft? How can I tell? What's it tell me? On the clock for 10 hours. Grab you a beer, guys. We're going to be here a minute. That's funny. No big deal. We will hop out of it and we will hop in a real one this time. Sorry if some of you guys. Is that all that they got? Is slow drafts? Are we not doing puppy drafts on a clock anymore? Help me out, guys. I'm a little confused. Did they take away the fast draft puppy? That seems to be the case. Whenever we click on it, there's no option for a clock. And the only pick clock it shows pick clock as 8 hours. I guess they took away the fast puppy. Huh. You know what? We really want to break the wheel out for you guys tonight. Let me let me upload my eliminator rankings. Let's see. These should be my eliminators. There we go. We will reset the wheel. And we're going to do the wheel on an eliminator. Because we told you guys that we were doing the wheel today. We'll enter an eliminator right at 11 o'clock on the dot. They are still letting us draft that one live, at least it looks like. I did not realize that. Why would they take away? I guess they figured if they didn't take away the fast draft option, that the Puppy 2 was going to be filled probably like tomorrow. So they're probably just trying to slow it down, I guess. Or maybe they got some more stuff coming out this week that's going to be interesting and keep us occupied draft wise. Right at 11 o'clock, though, we will enter it. Nine spots left. So if you do want to get in the eliminator with me, there's plenty of time. We're still going to do the wheel. Trying to get my little Who Crew eliminator cheat sheet pulled up over here on my other computer. I think they release the various clock times in batches. They have ran out of 20 seconds. They will likely drop another batch of 20-second clocks within an hour or so. That's interesting. My girl literally destroyed my entire laptop just now. Oh no, that sucks. Womp womp. But we're going to do the wheel on the eliminator. So let's respin this. I reset it, I think. Let me make sure. Open. Because last time, the one that I thought it landed on. All right, wide receiver, tight end is clearly what it landed on that time. I guess it was on the line last time. So basically, we have to go with a wide receiver in the first round of the eliminator because we're not drafting a tight end. What pick did we pull? Hey, the 11th pick. Looky there. That kind of works out a little bit. BBG is in here. Isn't Pollock his tag? Shout out to BBG. I don't know if he's still on streaming tonight or not. If so, we got a little double stream action draft going. You guys can let him know that we are doing a wheel draft if it gets kind of crazy. I don't want him being like, my boy JT drafting some bad eliminators over there. He was one of the first guests on our channel. I enjoyed talking to him. Really seemed like a really good dude. Definitely a good ball knower. As somebody who was only a couple weeks into streaming, was very helpful with answering a lot of questions and stuff that I had. The first one, we have to take a wide receiver. I was doing some eliminator research last night, more so just looking into schedules and stuff. The Giants and Malik Neighbors have a super, super juicy early schedule. So we're going to go with, well, they took Kim. That's all right. You know what? Do we want to go Nico or Puka? Let's go Puka. If we get wide receiver on the next one, he might come back. We're going to switch over here real quick. Quarterback or running back? We're definitely not taking a quarterback this early. So I guess that means, oh, and look at that. We get Genty to come back to us. Let's take some Genty. So far, it's working out okay. I mean, we actually got some nice value on Genty in the second round. You don't always see that. We had to go receiver. We had to go running back. We'll wait. Whenever the third round starts, we will hop back over and do the wheel again. Spilled her whole drink on it. Oh, David, that sucks, my man. Hey, I saw a comment from you earlier about you had just randomly said get you on stream or something like that. Were you trying to say that you wanted to hop on a stream sometime? If so, we can make it happen. JT is a man of the people. Speaking of which, next weekend, guys, the reason we're not doing viewer choice or viewer appreciation is you guys see him in my chat room all the time. My buddy Mark is going to be in town. The wife and the kids are going on a girls' trip. JT's going to be streaming some during the day that week. Not this week that's about to start, but the following week. I'm going to be popping up with some daytime streams. We'll still be here for the nightcap. It's the NFL. We do two a days in August, in late January, right? So we're going to pop in on some streams during the day. and have a lot of fun. But anyways, my good friend, known him for 20 years, Mark will be in town. And I'm going to drag him on stream with me next Saturday, a special Saturday night stream. And Sunday night should be a lot of fun. There's going to be some cold drinks that are pretty strong with alcohol in them, would be my guess. We're going to have a lot of fun. I tell you what, David, let me finish this will draft. If you want, we can do a BBM together after this draft, though, if you're still around. I don't know if it's too late for you. Um, Reach out to me, send me a message in Discord or Twitter or something so I have somewhere to send the link. I'm cool with a prompt to BBM with Mr. D-Lo. Oh, crap. Hold on. We need to go spin the wheel, guys. It's getting kind of close. Looks like we are going a wide receiver this round. There's not a ton that we love. I don't really want to go with McLaurin, but I also don't want to go with JSN. We could go Mike Evans. I guess we can go with McLaurin but then Jaden just went. Let's reach down a little bit. Let's go Mike Evans. Nothing wrong with some Mike Evans. We need to go spin again because we are at the turn, so it comes kind of quickly. We have to go running back. What kind of running backs do we have? Okay, we got a couple decent options if he doesn't double tap running back. Hopefully he doesn't double tap running back because we really don't want to go with Chuba or Kamara. I would love Hampton here, but he of course takes Hampton. You know what? I'm gonna reach down a little bit. I'm gonna go Mixon actually. It's kind of a reach, but we need a running back, and I like Mixon honestly in the eliminator over Kenneth Walker. Kenneth Walker's a close second though. Would have been nice if we could have hit one of the optional things for that one because I really didn't love the running backs there. But, we're having fun with it. It's the wheel. The wheel will draft our team. If you missed it in the beginning when I was talking about it, if any of you guys have any cool ideas to add to the wheel, when the video's over, throw it in the comment section. Let me know what you thought about the wheel draft. And leave me a comment if there's a particular idea you have to add to the wheel. I'm open to adding other things to it. We'll grow it as the summer goes. What do we have so far? So far, we have Genty and Mixon. So we have two running backs, Puka and Evans. And that's going to be the trick to these wheel drafts is first and foremost, we will always follow the wheel. I mean, it would be kind of pointless, right, to do it and then not follow it. So we are going to always complete the challenge that the wheel gives us. But we also want to still build a decent team, right? So I guess while we wait on it to get to us in the third, we can switch over here to the wheel. Running back. We get to draft another running back. Nothing wrong with drafting running backs in the eliminator. When it gets a little bit closer, we'll start looking over and seeing who we want to go with. But yeah, if you want David, I don't know, find me in either Discord or you can go over on Twitter and DM me because I need somewhere to send you the link to, and we can draft a BBM if you want together. I didn't know you hopped on streams before, or maybe it's your first time and you're just wanting to. I'll tell you guys what my final push was for hopping into streaming. Actually, let's get through this pick, then we'll talk about it. There's a little interesting story that was kind of my final. All right, let me do this. We have to go with running back. We could go late round or late season, I should say, in Travion Henderson, since we have two, but he's gone now anyways. We hope Swift stays. I like Swift. We're going to grab him, hop over real quick, give her another spin, and we can go running back again, or we also have the option of wide receiver. Somebody needs to tell the wheel that we need a quarterback also before too long, because this is the eliminator and we would like to have some quarterback firepower. I don't want to go running back again here, do we? We have three of those already that I feel okay about. Let's take Travis Hunter. I haven't taken Hunter at all in the eliminator. Let's grab Travis Hunter. Have you double stacked Puka and Adams much, or do you generally stick to one or the other? I wouldn't say that I've done it much, but I have done it a couple times. That's something I was talking about last night. I wish there was a way. I don't know if like the best ball overlay people could come up with it. I think it'd have to be something underdog put out there, but or if any of you guys are really smart with computer programming, the system or the software that everybody would love, you could charge $50 a month for it easy probably. If there was some kind of way, right, that we could say like easily, I want to look at all my Puka teams and just you put Puka's name in there, it pulls up every team that you have Puka drafted on so that you can see, oh, okay, go through them one by one. All right, like this Puka team, that Puka team looks pretty good, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. I thought about it the other night and we were talking about it on stream. And I just think that that would be really cool. I mean, we have close to it, like with the tool, I can actually see since we drafted Puka on here, we can go all just in the eliminator. It looks like I've taken him a fair amount of time in the eliminator, which I only have 41 eliminators. So, and I only have, I guess, let's see, how much Puka do we have? We don't have a ton of Puka. I have 12% of Puka. I'd be interested to see, like, cause I didn't feel like I had that much of Puka and Adams together in the eliminators. It must have been some of my really early teams that I drafted. I drafted about 36 eliminators, like really early, like late May, early June, and then I kind of stopped for a while. Most of like mid June, late June, Basically from like kind of later in June until just recently, I stopped on the eliminators. That was kind of my plan there. Oh, we need to spin the wheel, don't we? It is getting kind of close to us. Hey, there we go, Kim. Oh, I thought we were going to be able to get us a quarterback. Instead, we have to go running back or tight end. Laporta's there if this guy doesn't draft him. If not, it's kind of getting down for a reach. Let's go ahead and grab our first tight end. He's a little bit past ADP, and I think he's a better click right here than the running backs, assuming this guy doesn't take him, but he already has a tight end, so it's got to be somebody he probably doesn't want to. And just like that, he drafts Laporta. We are not reaching for Kelsey, so I guess running back it is. I don't know if we want 2 week 5 buys like that, so let's reach down and get Tracy. I didn't want to take Warren because Warren was another week 5 buy. One is early in the eliminator, and we already had Swift, who's a week 5 buy. Almost had to reach again. Quarterback or tight end. We are on the clock. We could go with Mahomes. Probably that's what we'll do because I don't want to draft Kelsey here. I'd rather take Mahomes a little bit past ADP. So we got us a quarterback. Genty, Mixon, DeAndre Swift, and Tracy at running back. Puka, Mike Evans, Travis Hunter at wide receiver. My bad. I just realized y'all are probably still looking at the wheel. We'll get better with that. It's our first night. Cut your boy some slack. Dirty P's really high on Adams, though. I've been taking him in the second ahead of Ladd and London to try and set up Adams JSN for week 16. The only problem with that is in week 16, there's a guy named Milrow that's going to be playing quarterback for them. And I don't know how much he'll be feeding receivers because he'll probably be running around with his legs. Do y'all know he's just as fast, if not faster, than Lamar, but built like a sturdy running back? Who knows? Sam Darnold could kill it all year. Rams get a bump for being the final game of the slate and having sexy playoff schedule. They do have a really nice playoff schedule for sure. Oh, I know what we were going to talk about. I mentioned it at one point. So last year, near the end of best ball summer, is when I first kind of got the idea about streaming because I listened to streams. I listen to best ball content dang near all day while I'm doing stuff around the house or driving around or whatever. Thought it would be fun, just my lifestyle, the things that I do during the day and have 4 kids and all. I don't get a lot of time to just go out and hang with the boys and talk ball. Most of my good friends don't even live around here anyways. So I thought it'd be fun. And I almost started up, but it was like really near the end of summer. And I was like, all right, maybe I'll put it off till next year. So this year came around and I was kind of debating. I had already kind of talked to my wife about it, made sure, she was okay just from a time standpoint or whatever. Clearly, I'm not there to watch as many shows or spend as much time with her in the evening. She generally goes to bed 10:30, 11 or so anyways. And so I was kind of debating and going back and forth in my head. And it was actually the one, the only Pete Overzet. I don't know if you guys read, like, I think it was like his news article that he puts out or whatever once a week, or I don't know how often it comes out, or it might have even been something on Twitter that I saw him post. But it was basically like a long little newsletter type thing talking about his journey as a streamer, how he started off, how it was in the beginning or whatever. And he actually ended it something along the lines of like, if you're thinking about doing it, don't think about it, just do it. The best time to start is now. And that was like, I don't know, it just I was like, man, this is a sign or something. And so literally it was about 4 days after that that I bought all my equipment that I needed to get in order to start, and here we are. And I'm glad I did it, honestly. But we need to spin the wheel. Oh, good. We didn't want to have to reach. We've already done some reaching. We need a wide receiver. And of course, there's not any top wide receivers on the board. So I guess we're going to go Keon Coleman. Hopefully, he catches some touchdowns for us. And I did it again. I left you guys on the wheel. Sorry about that. I'll make sure to switch over this time. We took Keon Coleman because we had to take a receiver. Now we get a running back or a tight end. We had to reach a little bit for Keon Coleman on that last one. Hey, but look, we could get our boy Dobbins that we just been talking up and took in the BBM. Or we could get Mark Andrews for a good little second tight end. What's our running back room look like? Swift, Mixon. We're going to need to count on running back hitting the flex with this team, I believe. So as much as I would like to take a tight end, we're going to go ahead and go with Dobbins as a fifth running back. I like Swift this year, but he could most definitely have some games where he does not, do really well. And we do have the early buys in Mixon and Swift. Like I kind of think, especially early on, Tracy's the running back I want from New York over Scat. But that said, y'all know what I think about Dobbins and that what role he could have there. Denver starts the year off against Tennessee, Indy. Definitely two games. They play Cincinnati week 4, it looks like. Definitely some games I could see Dobbins getting some nice work in. Cooler says he actually remembers reading that from Pete too. Yeah, it was kind of like, and I reached out to Pete in Discord. I sent him a DM and he responded and everything. It was actually, I think it was kind of a little cool, like, man, I'm glad that that reached you like that. It was kind of his like reaction or whatever. And it really was. I was going back and forth in my head. I don't know. I like to say I probably would have ended up going ahead and doing it. Cause I'm one of those type of people, if I start something, I really don't like to just like I wouldn't have started and then unless I just totally hated it or it was too stressful or something, I wouldn't have started and then just stopped because that's not really me. But yes, it was his little news article. So far, we have Pat Mahomes at quarterback. We need another quarterback. Hopefully, the will be nice to us. It could back off on running backs because we're looking okay. We got Genty, Mixon, Swift, Tracy, and Dobbins. We need a tight end eventually. We definitely could use some wide receiver help also. Let's go ahead and hop over and give her a spin while we wait on it to get to us. Running back or receiver? Probably going to. Oh, I kind of need to look too. So we only have we only have 2 more tight end spots available on the list. We've been pushing that whenever we get the double one. So we definitely need to next two times if hopefully we hit it. There are more spots on the wheel than we have picks. So this could get ugly at tight end, boys. This could get ugly. Even if it's a reach, I almost think I have to go with a receiver here. I mean, four receivers with Keon Coleman being a reach in one of them. That's pretty thin. Let's get Adam Thielen. Think I forgot to show y'all the board again. I'm gonna get better, I promise. I keep saying it, but we will. Quarterback or running back? Probably quarterback here. Let's get Travis Hunter. We have Trevor Lawrence. We have Travis Hunter is what I meant to say. So Trevor Lawrence makes a lot of sense over Caleb Williams for this particular team. He has a little bit later bye week also. And one thing that's just kind of popped in my head that's kind of a little scary. So with the wheel, I want to say there's about 4 spots more than what we have draft picks. I want to say it's about 22 spots, and there's only 2 more total spots on there that have tight end. So there's actually a world where we have to draft an eliminator team with no tight ends. Hopefully the will be nice and at least give us one. I'd feel a little better about it then. You guys want to hang around for another draft after this? Let me know. I'm up for whatever. We can do something else if y'all want. Give me just a second here. You guys see it down there on the bottom. I guess over here. It's always weird. My hand reacts backwards, and I'm still getting used to that. But if you forgot, hit that like button for me. It really helps out. Help spread the word, you know. We've been stuck in the 120 something as far as subscribers. So if you got some best ball buddies out there, do your boy a solid. Make sure they know about the nightcap. Make sure they know to come hang out with us at night. We try to have fun. We try to jump into drafts y'all want. I try to bring some guests on for you guys, more so for me. If y'all notice, I kind of get into where there's a couple people in general I really enjoy talking to. I like when me and Chris and Hartman are together. That's why we kind of started doing the once a week thing. Always some fun conversations. Really enjoy talking to Who Hames when I work with him. He's going to be on tomorrow. Steve's came on a couple of times. Always nice picking the professor's brain. Let's hop over and spin the wheel. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I think it's going to be nice to us, boys. All right. We only have 2 total chances of getting a tight end, so we got to take advantage of this one, and we got to pick a tight end. Colston Loveland is at the very top and actually pretty far past ADP. So I think we'll jump on that and scoop him. If for some reason he goes like he just did, we can go with Strange since he's a stack. Anyways, and we're not taking Kyle Pitts. Don't really want to do that. Ah, look at that. I almost forgot again, but I saw that I wasn't over here. I'm trying, guys. I'm not used to jumping back and forth between 2 pages. We will take Strange. Now we gotta hop back over. Spin the wheel one more time. Running back or wide receiver is the option that it gave us. I mean, I think our running back is pretty dang strong. We could use some wide receiver help, and I've kind of been into Tillman lately. I don't have any of him in the eliminator, but let's take Tillman for a sixth receiver. Last night I was doing some research, and then when I was done, I drafted a few eliminator teams. And the first one that I started to draft turned out to be a complete mess. My one of my daughters woke up not feeling too well, and daddy duties called. Mom was already asleep, and I was on like my fifth pick or whatever. And long story short, she actually kind of got sick or whatever. So I had some stuff to clean up. And so I couldn't really even try to switch over and draft off my phone. So then by the time I got her situated and everything cleaned up, the draft was over. And the team is kind of a mess, but it's an eliminator. So I guess anything could happen. It actually gave me some nice for the fact that it was stacked, but gross Raider stuff that I didn't really like. Whatever. What can you do, right? Daddy duties come over best ball. Still no P20s. About 27,000 entrants from field, so I expect more 20-second lobbies to drop. So that's kind of weird. Are you saying they just release them in batches, like say once 10,000 20-second drafts are drafted in the Puppy 2, then there just can't be any more until they release a new set of them? I've done 100 pups. Think I'm going to leave it there. Ah, that's interesting. I did not know that. We need to hop over and spin the wheel. Quarterback, running back, wide receiver. That's the sweet one. We get a lot of flexibility with this pick. Did they leave us any quarterbacks? Could go with Russell Wilson, or we'll just have to. Could go with Roshan Johnson and just go ahead and make it. Well, no, because we got Swift on this team. Could go with him. De'Ami Brown. We're just gonna go Giddens. Whatever. You know what? We're gonna keep it with two QBs, Pat Mahomes and Trevor Lawrence. Unless we get forced to take a QB. Wide receiver or tight end. So we get two tight ends at least, boys. There's some decent ones on the board right here, too. Probably go with Ertz. Week 12. The other guy's week 8. Let's do it. Trevor Lawrence is on bye in week 8. If we get another quarterback spot and he's still there, we could think about throwing Wilson on, or maybe even Joe Flacco. We drafted Tillman. What do we got left on the board? Let's since we're on the long way around, let's hop over. Let's look at the board. Wide receiver, quarterback, wide receiver, top of the list. So the top player on the board, period, might have to reach 10 spots past. That would suck to get like reached. I guess it'd be better to get reached 10 spots past later in the draft, come to think of it, versus early in the draft. Because back here, it's fine reaching anyways. QB, running back, wide receiver, QB, or wide receiver. So we definitely could still end up with another quarterback. We will see when it gets a little closer. Let's see where we're at. We're still 12 picks away, so we can wait just a little bit, I think, for it. Mark started with CMC in the 5 spot. That is his flag plant this year. He is drafting CMC early and often. Let's go ahead and spin the wheel. Top of the list. So, regardless of who it is, we have to take the top player on the board. Might be Anthony Richardson. We might end up with the third quarterback. And, that's part of why I didn't go with the quarterback last time, because I knew there was the out of having to do something like that. And then there was the last thing you want is draft too many quarterbacks, I guess, early when doing the wheel, and then be stuck taking like a fourth quarterback or something. I know BBG's probably over there like, what is JT doing over there? That team is not making any sense. Or we might actually have to go with a third tight end in Mason Taylor, as he is still right now top guy on the board. That is who it is. Kind of worked out in the tight end room. At one point, we were a little worried maybe we wouldn't get one. Guess it kind of was good it waited so long to give us options, because just like we wouldn't want to. Oh, hold on. We got to spin the wheel. Can we beat the clock, boys? 13, 12, 11. Quarterback, running back, wide receiver. Let's go. Tyler Lockett. Got him in there just in time. Why not? Tyler Lockett is a eliminator ass pick. That was close. We barely got him in there. We almost ended up with Anthony Richardson on that. That is the team, though. We kept it at just 2 quarterbacks. Pat Mahomes, Trevor Lawrence. Hopefully, Liam Cohen can get Lawrence to the next level. Hopefully, Pat Mahomes starts airing it out a little more this year. Like, I know they threw at a pretty high rate last year, but it was a lot of shorter deke and dunk stuff. We want to get back to the fun downfield throws with this particular team. Genty, Mixon, Swift, Tracy, Dobbins, and Giddens. So a hella strong running back room. I think overall, I mean, we got Mixon and Genty. I'm pretty high on Swift. We were able to get Dobbins after we took Tracy. Puka, Evans, Travis Hunter, Coleman, Adam Thielen, Cedric Tillman, Tyler Lockett as the wide receivers. Strange, Ertz, and Mason Taylor in the tight end room. Obviously, not my favorite eliminator team, but you know what? We had fun. We completed the wheel. That for that, it was definitely a success. Has the final team been drafted here in just a second? Let's go see what Mark did. What'd you do over there, Mark? 2673. Up, it did the thing again where it popped to me. 3573 is what Mark went with. Hella QB strength. Jalen Hurts, Joe Burrow, still took Tua with it. Assuming maybe you had Hill or something. Yes, you did. CMC, Pacheco, Scatterboo, Najee, Raheem Mostert. So Pacheco and CMC up top. Then it's kind of a mixed bag after that. We'll see if Scat is really the dude that a lot of people think he is. I don't know. I'm so torn with them. I'm finding that here lately I've actually kind of just backed off of the giant running backs until we get into camp and hear a little bit more or see how it's shaking out. I could see both worlds. I could see the world where Cam just comes in and sooner rather than later he takes over the main role. He's the main guy. But I also see a world where Tracy plays still an annoyingly enough amount that neither one of them are really guys that you want. I don't think there's really a world where Tracy gets all of the work and Scatterboo is just like the backup, because I do think that Scatterboo will be like the goal line back. So that's a nice role regardless. But it's like, how good do we really think the Giants' offense will be? Exactly how many touchdowns do we think they're scoring? They're definitely not what we think of as like an elite offense. And so at the end of the day, I just want to see, like, before I start taking a lot more Cam, I want to see like some good stuff in camp. I want it to seem like, okay, there's a good shot here that he could actually take that role for himself, or the lead role at least. Because if he gets the lead role, then I think he could be a smash where he's going, because he's the goal line back, right? And he can catch passes good. So even if they bring Tracy down in for some pass work, even if they bring him in on like third and long or whatever, he's still going to play. He's a lot more explosive than Cam is. But behind your top two, it's a little thin. Let's see what your wide receivers look like. Tyreek Hill, Wilson, Pittman, Rashid Shaheed, Wandale Robinson, Keenan Allen, and Deontay Johnson, with Hawkinson, Kincaid, and Gesicki at tight end. Nothing wrong with that. I mean, you're gonna get nice points out of Pacheco and McCaffrey, and they do have like bye weeks, so the fact that you are a little thin maybe behind it, it's fine as long as they're healthy. You're winning nice money if you make it to week 10 anyways, even better in week 14. Should have an awesome QB room between Hurts and Burrow. I like the team. I like it a lot. Overall, it is a pretty good team, I think. What did you guys think about the wheel? Let me know in the comments section. Did you guys like the wheel? But I think we're gonna get out of here for tonight, guys. I don't know. I may draft something, but I got something else I need to look into and stuff before I head to bed tonight. Anyways, but it was fun as always. Thank you for stopping by. Come back tomorrow. We will have Who Hames, the Who crew will be on with us. Should be fun. Not sure what we'll draft yet. Maybe we'll do a BBM. I haven't done a BBM with him since when's the last time? Probably my 6 hour thing. Have a good night. Hope you had a great weekend. Do what you do on Mondays. We will see you tomorrow.
But the only thing in life that has meaning are the things you gotta work for, believe me.